Joaquin Archibaldo Guzman Lora, also known as El Chapo, Shorty, was a Mexican drug lord and former leader of the Sinaloa cartel, a criminal organization named after the Mexican Pacific Coast state of Sinaloa where it originated. He was born in La Tuna, Bay Guado, Sinaloa, Mexico on April 4, 1957. He started his criminal career in the 1970s, working for Felix Gallardo, who was then the leader of the Guadalajara cartel. In the 1980s, Guzman and a group of other drug traffickers broke away from the Guadalajara cartel to form the Sinaloa cartel. He quickly rose to power and became one of the most powerful drug traffickers in Mexico. He was known for his ability to evade capture by the authorities and for his ruthless tactics against rivals. Guzman was first arrested in Guatemala in 1993 and was later extradited to Mexico. He was sentenced to 20 years in prison for drug trafficking, but he managed to escape from prison in 2001. He was on the run for more than a decade before being captured again in 2016. He was later extradited to the United States and was facing multiple charges, including drug trafficking, money laundering, and organized crime. On January 19, 2017, Guzman was found guilty on all counts and was sentenced to life in prison plus 30 years. He was also ordered to forfeit $12.6 billion, which represented the proceeds of his drug trafficking activities. Guzman died on January 19, 2017, in prison. Guzman's criminal empire was one of the most powerful and violent in the world. He controlled most of the drug trafficking routes from Mexico into the United States, making him one of the most wanted criminals in the world. He was also known for his philanthropy, often giving money to poor communities in Sinaloa, and his drug empire employed thousands of people in Mexico. In summary, Joaquin Archibaldo Guzman Lora, also known as El Chapo, was a Mexican drug lord and former leader of the Sinaloa cartel, one of the most powerful criminal organizations in the world. He was born in 1957 and started his criminal career in the 1970s, working for Felix Gallardo, the leader of the Guadalajara cartel. Guzman was arrested multiple times but managed to escape twice. He was sentenced to life in prison in the United States for drug trafficking and organized crime, and died in prison on January 19, 2017. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman made his first escape from prison in 2001, while serving a 20-year sentence for drug trafficking at the Puente Grande maximum security prison in Jalisco, Mexico. He reportedly escaped from the prison by hiding in a laundry cart. According to official accounts, Guzman had bribed prison guards and officials to facilitate his escape, and also dug a tunnel that led from the prison shower area to a nearby construction site. He was on the run for more than 13 years before being recaptured in 2016. Guzman made his second escape from prison on July 11, 2015, from the Altiplano Federal Prison, located in Ameloya de Juarez, Mexico through a tunnel of over 1 mile long, equipped with ventilation, lighting and a motorcycle modified to run on rails. This escape embarrassed the Mexican government, and led to the resignation of the head of Mexico's prison system and a manhunt that lasted for more than 6 months until his recapture in January 2016. His escapes were a huge embarrassment for the Mexican government and raised questions about corruption within the prison system. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman had a complex relationship with the United States. As the leader of the Sinaloa cartel, one of the most powerful drug trafficking organizations in the world, his criminal empire had a significant impact on the United States. The Sinaloa cartel was responsible for smuggling large quantities of drugs, including marijuana, cocaine, and methamphetamine, into the United States. The United States government had been trying to capture Guzman for years, and had offered a $5 million reward for information leading to his capture. The U.S. government also sought his extradition from Mexico on multiple occasions, but Mexico had long resisted extradition on the grounds that its own criminal justice system should handle the case. Guzman was eventually arrested in Mexico in 2016, and was later extradited to the United States in January 2017. He was facing multiple charges, including drug trafficking, money laundering, and organized crime in the U.S. He was found guilty on all counts and sentenced to life in prison plus 30 years in the United States. His trial took place in New York and it was considered a victory for the U.S. justice system and a blow to the Sinaloa cartel. In summary, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman had a complex relationship with the United States. He was the leader of a powerful drug trafficking organization that smuggled large quantities of drugs into the United States and was wanted by U.S. authorities for many years. He was eventually arrested, extradited and sentenced in the United States to life in prison. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman was known for his elusive nature, as well as for his ability to evade capture by authorities for many years. He was not known for making public statements or giving interviews, so there is not a lot of information available about his quotes. However, there are a few notable quotes that have been attributed to him. "I supply more heroin, methamphetamine, cocaine, and marijuana than anybody else in the world. I have a fleet of submarines, airplanes, trucks, and boats. The only way to have peace is to prepare for war. I know where the government officials live. I have their names and addresses. I also know their families. The only ones who will be left alive are those who live with the truth. I am not a monster." It is important to note that not all of these quotes have been independently verified and some of them may be apocryphal. In summary, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman had a complicated relationship with journalists. He was media shy and did not give many interviews, but he did grant an interview to Sean Penn in 2015. He was often portrayed negatively in the media and his relationship with journalists was strained by the coverage of his criminal empire and his escapes from prison. Journalists who covered the cartel have been threatened, kidnapped or killed.